they don't like judge you as soon as you walk in. Colorado was like they knew why I was there, and that was it. They're just like they had 1 second alone with me. It would have been
Really?
yeah.
Gee, man. Must be out then.
Out of like what kind of jail? I don't know what it was like in DOC there, but like they had to lock down the jail for me to walk down the hallway.
Wow. So so they had to make sure you were completely separated from anyone else.
Like I didn't see anybody else there. Like I was in the cell next to somebody, but like I never saw them.
You just hear them.
How did they know you were?
I don't know. I just they make phone calls in there too.
Oh, okay.
And they got the newspaper in there before I got in there. So
yeah. Have you been able to talk with family members?
Oh, definitely. Yeah. Like we get from 6 p.m. to 7:30. That's our minus time out. So we get to use the phone at that point in time.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
And do they charge you for it? Or?
Oh, it's just like it's like Secures or something.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And how do you make money to pay for that?
They put money on the phone.
Oh.
So if I call, if I was to dial somebody's number, they'd have to have a phone account set up.
Oh.
It's just restricted.
And then so who you call pays for it?
Yes.
Oh. Okay. You've been able to talk to family members and parents and all that?
Yeah, my mom and dad, my sister.
Okay. Good. Is that a good thing?
That's a good thing. Yeah.
Yeah,
If they don't hear from me, they're like, "Oh, what's wrong?"
Oh, good. And how was it with them?
So far, so good.
Yeah. Yeah. It was hard to hear your parents at sentencing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I didn't know what they were gonna say.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah. And so, yeah, I really appreciated what they said. I don't know about you.
I definitely it was. I didn't expect them to be there. I knew they were there on the 6th. But I didn't expect them to fly back, and they wanted to fly back to that. So.
Yeah. And then what your mom said.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
Okay. Good. Well, so we have 1,000 questions. I'm sure you do too. Do you care if we start, or do you have any questions for us?
Go ahead. We'll start.
All right. So one of the things that we're battling with is, and I won't make any assumptions today. So, are you aware that this was a national story?
After a little while, I didn't talk to my parents while I was in Colorado.
Okay.
Because my attorney team told me, all right, no phone calls, no letters, no nothing.
Okay.
So I made one phone call when I was in the segregation area there, but my dad thought it was somebody a news, somebody trying to call.
Oh.
So he didn't answer.
Yeah, so he didn't answer. But other than that,
okay.
I didn't talk to anybody. But from what some of the deputies were saying, that or my attorney team coming in and said, this is they've got people from Australia, England, and all kinds of people trying to figure out what's going on. So.
Did they send you any of the letters, like fan mail or anything? Well,
I got letters, but I couldn't keep them with me, so I could read them on my hour out. But it's I got a bunch of just letters that had no return address and stuff that was just not very good letters.
Yeah. So. Okay. They came from a weird perspective, didn't they? From what we had heard.
Definitely. There was one person, I guess, from Broomfield that was writing 4 times a week trying to come visit me, and then there was just a lot of people writing that was bleed through markers saying you're a monster, all kinds of crazy stuff.
All right. Well, we're going to talk about some hard issues today, but I don't intend to take you to a dark place today.
Okay.
I hope that when we're done, you'll feel better. I hope it'll be therapeutic. We're going to talk about, obviously, what happened with your family, and so that's going to be hard to talk about. I appreciate anything you can tell me about it. If you need to take time out, if you need to get a tissue, that's fine, right? I think it'll be very good for you. It'll be good for us. And so one of the reasons I asked about that national attention is we were aware that you were getting a lot of letters, a lot of interest, and then us personally as law enforcement, we got so many people who claim to have known you, claim to have been with you, dated you, slept with you, and 99 times out of 100 they were just crazy people, right? And so maybe that's a good place to start. Had you heard about any of that?
John Walsh, he told me about some dude from Wyoming.
Yeah.
Trent?
Yeah, that guy. That blew my mind. I was like, what the hell
So Trent, in summary, Trent came in and said, met you online on a dating app, had a few, casual but quick sexual encounters with you. And let me be very clear. Not only are we not here to jam you up today, we're also not here to judge you. And if there is anything like that, you can imagine we've heard way worse, way different, So if it's true, I hope that you can just casually say, yeah, I mean, this happened. It wasn't as bad as he said, but maybe this happened. So his story was met online, met you, and it was a time when you were experimenting with maybe men. And so he said he met a couple times, met his friends, went to an apartment, had a couple of meetings in a parking lot, and that was basically it. Any of that sound familiar? Okay.
No, I never met the guy.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, he talked about being in your truck with your girls, like the whole 9 yards. So.
Okay.
But I've never even been to Wyoming, let alone driven up there to see someone.
Yeah. And so this is maybe a weird question for you. Do you have any gay experience?
No.
Okay. Any interest?
No.
Okay. Never had a time experimented, wondered?
No.
Okay. Is it possible that he found you instead of you finding him?
From what John told me, just found me on like a WhatsApp.
Yeah.
I don't even have that app.
Okay.
You had my phone, so
Okay.
you could probably,
Yeah.
you could probably saw what app I had. But I've never even heard of the app, but
Okay.
apparently, like, he told me, like, I met him through, like, a rehab center or something.
Is that what he said?
No, that was another guy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was totally, I had no idea.
So did you see a picture of him on the news or anything?
John showed me a picture of it.
Okay.
He was like, well, this guy, I'm like, John was kind of, making fun of, like, you know him? Sure. Okay, I'm like, no.
So you saw it and you were like, no way.
Yeah, I was just
Big
like-
lips. Did you see his giant
Yeah,
lips?
I was just like, I have no clue who this guy is.
And he's somewhat memorable. I mean,
Yeah.
If you met him or talked to him or got to know him, you might remember. He was kind of meek,
Yeah.
but also a little bit flamboyant. Yeah, he did fake lip, or not fake lips, but injections. He was very into skincare and makeup. And he mentioned that one of the times, just as a gift, you got him some skincare products. Any of that sound familiar?
No.
Okay. You can imagine all the stuff we're dealing with. Okay, so that's one. Trent Bowles. There was another gal that you were dealing with.
Amanda McMahon. Have you ever heard that name? No.
John showed me a picture of her.
Oh, you did see a picture of her too?
Yeah, he had like. Yeah, that's the same.
True.
Yeah,
Does that look familiar?
that's the same picture he showed me on the
Okay.
MSL one time. I was looking, I was like, who's that? He's like, oh, you don't know her either?
Yeah.
I was like, no.
Yeah.
He said it was like a Chick-fil-A parking lot rendezvous or something.
Right.
And that's just not true.
That's what she's claiming.
Okay.
Only one, one Chick-fil-A in Colorado. That was the one in Broomfield, Highway 7.
Okay.
That was it.
Okay. Do you feel comfortable enough today to tell us if there were other people?
Yeah, it was just Nicole.
Okay.
That's it.
And that was it?
Yeah, that was
Okay.
it.
As these people have come out, for the most part, we've not given their stories much credit. They're just crazy people who want attention. And so, but when that does happen, it does make us think, there may have been others. And so Nicole was the only one.
That was the only one.
Was there ever like a one-night stand with someone else just out of the blue and one and done?
No.
Okay. All right. Do you mind if we talk a little bit more about Nicole? Okay, so walk me through it, because that was one of the things we never really got to ask you about.
Right, we didn't
We just
talk
kind of
about
skipped
that.
on and talked about where the girls were, but so what happened there?
So it was probably around June 1st or something. That's when I first met her. And it was just like a work conversation. She messed with the gas meters that, we were out in the field. And I was messing up, and then, I took it to her like, hey, what's going on with this? Like, how do I fix it? And, after that, we just ran into each other a few times in the office, and I think it was probably the fourth time meeting. She had asked me, because like when we were talking back and forth, I would say, like we moved here from Colorado or from North Carolina and stuff like that, and then she's like, "What's all this weed stuff?" I'm like, "God," took out my phone and showed her a picture, like my girl's on the phone. It's like, "Oh, okay." Like, so I'm like, "Yeah," like, I didn't wear a ring at work because like I something else to get refitted after I lost all that weight. So, but
You lost so much weight that your fingers lost weight?
And it was literally like I was out in the snow one time. I went like that, and my ring went off on the rocks. So I was like, I was panicking, trying to find out like, hey, where is it anymore? But so after that, she left me alone for a couple days, and she texted me outside the field. And then after that, we just kept texting back and forth, and it was just just like like she used to work in a oil rig out in North Dakota, I think. And we just kind of trading stories back and forth about what we did and everything. And then one day it just kind of went to a different level. And then I never thought it would ever go to that level. But she was talking about meeting up after we got back from San Diego. Yeah, we were in San Diego from the 22nd to the 26th of June. And we met up after we got back. And
How did you guys meet up?
at a park in Thornton. Thornton somewhere. And after that, we just kept seeing each other pretty much the whole month of July.
So let me ask you this. You tell me if I'm wrong. You strike me as somewhat of a shy person. So when you guys were meeting, was it just kind of very initiatory, like flirting at first? Okay. From both sides?
Yeah. They were just kind of like feeling each other out. It's kind of like
Yeah. And so, texts and calls?
more near the end of June.
Okay. And what makes you remember that it's June that it happened?
Because we called each other before I left to go to San Diego.
Oh, okay. Alright. At first, did you think something might happen?
I just thought it was just flirting. I didn't think it was actually like something that would actually happen.
Yeah. Well, it's totally natural, right? I mean, everyone kind of flirts at work, right? Because relationship between men and women is different. So if you're working with a girl at work, it's just kind of natural to flirt. I get it.
I wish I was out in the field more instead of in the office.
Yeah. You kind of see it in your eyes. That's kind of where the path started, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, if I was like, because when I went from like a rover to a field coordinator, like I would spend more time in the morning time in the office trying to get everything like situated where we're gonna go, everything like that. And, if I was a rover, I'd be more out in the field and instead of like coming to the office like for more than an hour.
Right.
It just gave me more time to run into her, pretty much.
Yeah. Okay. What did she know about you? Did she know you were married first?
She did once I showed her the pictures on my phone. On the, like the home screen picture.
So was your wife in that picture, or was it just your girls?
It was just my girls right there, but my wife was the lock screen.
Oh.
So she knew I was married and my kids.
Okay.
Are you aware that she said she didn't know you were married? What did you think about that?
I figured it was like just trying to save face, trying to and something my sister said, it was like just trying to keep things together.
Yeah.
Just trying. She phrased it a different way, but just kind of like just like ground control, just trying to control everything that's going on around her. Because I'm sure she got bombarded by all kinds of different sides from the media and everything. So. And
Have you talked to her at all? No.
I'm hoping she hasn't written me in a different alias or something. No, I'm not talking to her that way.
Oh.
And are you not allowed to talk to her?
I would hope that.
Okay. No one told you that then?
No, I mean I would expect I thought like Colorado had said like on a DOC list that if you're on a victim list you can't call anybody.
Oh, right.
But here I'm not sure if that's the same. But I just talked to my sister, parents, some friends of my parents.
Do you wish you could talk to her?
Maybe once just to
get some closure?
Just to say hey, just once.
Yeah.
Just to say, hey, I'm sorry this all happened. I'm sorry. I'm not sure what happened afterwards, what you went through, if you had counseling, if you're different state, if you had to leave everything behind. I just wanted to let you know I'm sorry, and that's not something I just thought happening or happening to somebody else either.
Would you be alright if we told her that?
That's fine.
Do you want us to? Do you want us not to?
And if she would want to even talk to you guys, I'm not sure if someone comes up. I'm sure she'd answer your phone call more than the attorney phone call that she didn't want to answer. Yeah.
Oh, so your attorney tried to call her and she wouldn't answer?
Yeah, because I remember her phone number, but left a call business card there. And she just pretty much after like the 5th attempt, she said stop going around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure she's getting bombarded like everyone else, so.
And hopefully it's calmed down since, but I'm sure like I just hope she can like I'm not there's like normalcy for her since she's on the outside, but I'm hoping it can get that way at some point. I'm not sure if she had to leave Colorado or not, but I'm sure like that would have been hard if she did. I know Anadarko was her dream job, so that's one thing I always like asked my attorneys is like, did she have to leave? Like, did she have to do anything at work? Because that was one thing. So she always told me that was her dream job. So.
Oh, really? What does she mean?
Like in the oil company in Anadarko is like, you know, I mean, unless you're working for like BP or like kind of Phillips or something.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Anadarko is like, you know, it's like
Big leagues.
Yeah.
Can I ask kind of a tough question? Did you love her?
I felt like it was true.
Yeah. I think so too. I think it was the same from her. Yeah. Okay. Tell us about the time you spent with her.
Well, I mean, it felt like it was, you know, I think like when you said like more like a shy guy, it's kind of like I never like been perceived by anybody before. It's kind of like I was the one, you know, trying to pursue. Because like when me and Shanann met, it was like, you know, she was always like pushing me away, kind of like, you know.
She was sick for a while, right?
She had just got diagnosed with lupus, and she was on like a bunch of different medications and stuff. And, it was like, I guess I wasn't her type. And
you weren't her type?
I wasn't her type. Because like she told me like when she first, because we had met.
She told you that?
Yeah.
You're not
I remember you telling me that.
Yeah, it was like, you know, when we first met, like it was at a movie theater. And my cousin's ex-wife set us up.
You were dressed like shit, weren't you?
I
think that's what you told me.
Yeah, I didn't know like that.
We weren't having any games?
So she was fancy and he was in like shorts and tennis shoes or something, right?
Shoes and, like, I should have known the doorman, you know, was in a suit. And I was just like, this isn't good. And like
Was it at the theater?
It was a fancy theater, right?
It was in Charlotte. It was called the Epicenter, and apparently they give you like champagne and all kinds of stuff.
Oh, this is a fancy date night theater.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he came like he was going to a
Like I was
Cinemax,
like I was going to a bar.
like AMC.
White theater.
No, it was like you we just watched a normal movie, but like you can like drink champagne and like have like, you know, a Jack and Coke inside the theater and just sit there and just whatever. But like yeah, when she first saw me, she was like, I should probably just turn and talk to the bartender a little more. And like, no, I'm not here to meet. But yeah, like I was like persistent trying to pursue something. I liked her, and even on the first date, like I couldn't even eat anything really. I was just like, you know,
You're so nervous?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, she was just like, you know, chowing down. And she was like, you eat like a bird. I'm like, oh, that's funny. And she taught my parents, like, you know, months later, she was like, this guy just never ate. It's like, this guy eats like a trash disposal. Just trash disposal. I was like, no, not around me. I was like, well, I was nervous. I was just like, I was always like shaking and everything. But yeah, I was always pursuing her, and then just like finally I grew onto her. Like, you know, I would always like with her medications and stuff, I would always like, she had like 8 bottles of medications, so I would always get like her day and nights and kind of like put them all in that little, you know, flip open pill box, yeah, all that kind of stuff. And I would always, you know, be around her. I even went to her colonoscopy. She said after that she knew that was like kind of a keeper. It's like, you know, who goes to a colonoscopy after 3 months with somebody? Right.
That's a little soon.
Well, she asked if she needed a ride. I'm like, yeah. She's like, you want to go to colonoscopy with me? I'm like, sure, why not? Yeah. Like, even sat with her while she drank that nasty stuff all day. Yeah.
Oh. Where she's in the bathroom
That's
all
a good
day?
test.
that clear stuff that doesn't really taste clear. Yeah, but yeah, it was. I mean, it felt like it was a great relationship. Everything was great.
Now you're talking about with Kissinger?
No, with Tom Alston, and like the first year, you know, like, you know, my parents never. I don't know. My mom was always kind of hesitant.
Why?
I was the baby, I guess. I never, you know, but I never had a girlfriend in high school, so it's kind of like she never like really saw me like.
Oh, interesting. So she's kind of watching her baby walk out a little bit.
Yeah, because now I turned 18. I graduated. I never moved back.
Okay.
At home. So and my
How
sister
old?
moved back and forth all the time. So
How old were you when you met Shanann?
I was 25. It was 2010. So
Okay.
So no serious girlfriends before that?
nothing more than like 6 months or so. Yeah, there was some girls here and there, but just nothing more than like, you know, the last girlfriend I had before Shanann, she would just actually got divorced. And I should never did that, but it was more of like I was kind of like helping her get through her divorce. It seemed like she went on to somebody else. I'm like, oh, nice to know.
You're the rebound guy?
The rebound guy.
Pretty much, but you know, that's how it goes.
Would you say that in your relationships with women, it seems to me, and you tell me if I'm wrong, it seems to me like you're attracted to maybe a more dominant personality?
It seemed like it because I'm more of the just reserved. I mean, I just kind of like go with the flow type.
Yeah.
And like Shan usually made all the decisions. It seemed like so.
I get that. I'm the same. Yeah. I don't know what it is.
Yeah. I don't think that's right with you, but
So then, and I know it's hard to keep bouncing back and forth, but and one of the reasons we're here is we just keep telling ourselves, Chris just does not fit the mold. Chris does not.
no.
Like it just blows us away what happened, right? And so we will do a little bit of bouncing back and forth, and that's really just to get to know you a little bit better. Because we never really got that chance, did we? We were
Met
talking
you twice.
Yeah.
Met you once.
Yeah.
Probably like remember 3 or 4 times probably.
So then do you call her Nikki or Nicole? Because
I would call her Nikki.
okay.
I know there's so many Nickies and Nicoles in this.
Right. There
That's
is.
fair.
I got confused.
So we'll call her Nikki. So then with Nikki, was it different?
It just seemed like I was more in control. It seemed like, and that never happened. Like she'd actually like ask me like my opinion on a lot of things and just like what I wanted to do and just kind of like okay.
It was new, wasn't it?
Very new.
Oh, that's fascinating to me. And so did it feel more like an equal partnership or?
It seemed like it.
Yeah. Okay. So then when it was date night, would you guys talk about it? Would you ask to go somewhere or would she say, I want to go somewhere? Was it too
The first time we went out, it was to a movie over at the Orchard, off the 144th over there, and I asked her like, "Hey, you want to go see this movie?" And like, she's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Okay, cool." And we got there, it was sold out, and normally we probably just have just wait 2 hours, like just go home. But now she just wanted to walk around, just talk. And, okay.
Oh wow.
So that was different, and I think she wanted to go to the car museum, Shelby Museum in Boulder. I've never been there, and I was
That's right up your alley.
oh yeah, I was just like, that was awesome, just to walk around cars for like an hour or so. And then, drag race in Vandermeer.
Okay.
And I haven't been to a drag race since 2008. And that was in Charlotte. That was a drag strip over there. This like the NHRA, the Top Fuel, fun car stuff like me and my dad used to grow up.
Yeah.
Go there like all the time. And then we went camping in Sand Dunes National Park, and I'd never been camping. I always wanted to do it. Thought it was she'd done it like countless times.
Oh really? Okay. She's outdoorsy?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, she every time like she needed to clear her head, she'd just go by herself, just go somewhere.
Oh.
Yeah.
So she's a completely new type of person and relationship.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. What were you thinking this whole time? Like, in the back of your head?
In the back of my head, I was just telling myself, "What are you doing?" Like, every time, I open up my phone, I could see pictures, like, of my wife and my kids, and just like, what am I doing? And then, like, every time I was with her, it seemed like I didn't think. It seemed like it was like a blinder that was in my face.
Oh.
And it was like every time I look back on it, like I have pictures of my wife and kids and myself, And like every night, or every morning, every night, I just, talk to him, say like I have like this book I used to read for CC, and I remember that book, so I read that to them like every night. And like there's some scripture and stuff that I read to them, so I just try to think back, like I wish this never happened. And just like I wish that blinder wasn't on my head, wasn't in my eyes, that would have seen what was going on. Like, I was having, everybody says, oh, you're just out there having fun while your kids, or kids and wife are on vacation. I'm just like, no, it wasn't like that, but it seemed like that's what it looked like when, when you're going, you're going to camping, going to drag race, going all this other stuff that you have fun doing, but you're with somebody else. It's not your family. It just didn't seem right. With her, it just didn't seem like I could even see that anymore. I was there at her house pretty much every night. So it was like I didn't have that time at home just to really think about anything. Because literally I didn't, like I was only at home from like when I got home from work. I worked out, I ate dinner, and then I went over to her house. Like I never slept in my house like the whole month of July.
Now, talk me through that though. When you said you went home and then you were at her house, was that while Chanel was gone? Oh, okay. So you weren't even at your house.
No.
This all happened so quickly, didn't it?
It was insane quickly. Like I didn't she even told me like she would never, in like a normal relationship, she would never have somebody over at her house like more than like once or twice a week, but she felt like she wanted me over there.
Yeah.
She said she felt comfortable over there.
Yeah.
So it was just like, that's what was different, like she wanted me over there. But I just wish that all that would just go away. I just wish I almost like I know it's wrong to say I wish I'd never met somebody, but I wish I'd, maybe met her at work and then just kept it that way.
I think if we had a time machine, I don't think this would happen again. Because some people, when this happens, you're like, well, if it wasn't this time, it would have been next time, or it would have been the next time. It just wouldn't have happened with you, would it? And it happened so quickly that, you tell me if I'm wrong, you're not the type of guy to take control sometimes when you need to.
Yeah,
it seems like that's just what happened.
Yeah, I didn't take control of this situation. It was like the situation controlled me.
Right, it just happened. Now, I get that, man. I'm somewhat passive myself, and it's like, there's situations where I'm like, well, why did I let that keep going?
Yeah, I don't know why. It was like a roller coaster ride that I just kept punching the ticket on and just never let me get up.
Yeah. Can we talk about the hardest subject? So when we were talking, the last time we talked, the last thing we talked about was where the girls were, but we never really got to talk about that night. So what happened?
So nothing really happened that night. It was in the morning.
Okay.
It was, me and Shanann, she got home like at 2 o'clock. And, I felt her get into bed. And I just felt like I didn't feel it. I just made sure I looked at my phone at 2 o'clock and make sure she was up there, she's in there. And I could kind of feel her kind of stirring around a little bit. I just had a feeling that she knew like what was going on. I mean, obviously I didn't use like an NRCO gift card, that I'd gotten. I used my actual credit card, and I kind of just felt like something. She knew what was going on, and she started rubbing her hand on me, and we ended up having sex. But I guess that was more like a test.
Oh,
I would have thought.
interesting. Okay. That makes
Yeah,
sense.
because when we talked, when I woke up later on in the morning, like, I pretty much, told her, like, I didn't think it was going to work anymore. And she was like, what happened? What was last night? So I figured that's what the test after I've gone through everything in my head.
That makes sense.
And she just told me, like, to get off of her. And she was like, I knew there was somebody else, I knew there was somebody else, I knew there was somebody else. I couldn't bring it. I couldn't just say yes, there is somebody else, but then she's like, never gonna see the kids again. Never gonna see them again. Get off me. Don't hurt because like when I climbed in bed, that was pretty much like on top, pretty much like straddling her kind of deal.
Okay.
And she thought I was gonna like, you know, hurt her or her baby or something. So, because she knew that like, you know, something had happened. She thought I was just trying to, you know, just check out or something. So, and that's when that happened.
I know it's hard, but do you mind if we talk just a tiny bit deeper about that? So, she comes home, you know, she touches you, you guys have sex, it seems like she's doing her test, which I understand. Sounds like you do too.
I'm sure, like, you know, Nikki or not Nikki, Cole Atkinson or Cassie probably told her, you know.
That's what I was thinking, right? They talked about it during that whole weekend.
More than like that. That's my parents told me there was like going through like text messages. It's like all like pretty much they all kind of just told her he's with somebody else type of deal.
Yeah. And she spent a lot of time with the gals. That's what they did probably all weekend is talk about it, give her advice. I think that's what we found, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So she comes home, you guys have sex, and then did you fall asleep between then and going to work?
Yes.
Okay. So then at some point, does she wake you up or did you wake up for work?
Not a lot of more.
Oh, okay. And you're going to work out.
Mhm.
But then that's when she started wanted to talk more. She was pretty mad? Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it was, I had already kind of knew that, you know, using that credit card, it was kind of,
Was that intentional?
Yeah.
I had no other way to do it.
Oh.
I used like because I got these Anarcho gift cards for like you know doing good stuff at work and stuff like that, and I'd use them all.
Oh. Was part of you just like, screw it, whatever, I don't care, I'm using this card?
Part of me just wants to say, Nikki, can you pay for this? But I don't know.
Yeah.
Even I think my attorney said she even noticed I used a different card, like a blue card. Maybe she thought, like I felt comfortable enough just using a normal bank account or something. But I told her I was going to Rocky. And I told you I was going to Rocky.
Yeah.
It was just like, it felt like like looking back at everything, like just like reading the scripture more and more now, I can see like God gave me opportunities to get out. Like even my friend Jeremy Lindstrom, he even invited me because like it was his daughter that came and watched the kids on that Saturday night, and he was like, "Hey, you said we're going to a Rocky game. You want to go to me with the Bronco game and watch the Arizona Cardinals?" Like in my mind, it was like go, just say, "Hey, I can't find a babysitter." Bye.
To Nikki?
Yeah, and maybe that would have been like like light switch when her head goes off, light switch when her head goes off, maybe it just like goes different directions. That was kind of like my last opportunity to kind of get out, it seems like. So I wish I would have said, yeah, let's go.
Yeah.
And I think that would have just put me on a different trajectory.
So then, Shanann, did she actually say you're never going to see the kids again?
She said it to me before.
Yeah. That's kind of hard to hear.
Yeah, because she'd said to me before she went to Arizona. Because I wasn't really sleeping in the bedroom. I was sleeping on the couch or in the basement bed or something. And she had slammed the door. You're never going to see the kids again. Yeah.
Did she get fiery like that?
Only once in our entire relationship I've ever seen her that way.
Yeah. And that was a time before, or was that on the night that it happened?
No, it was right back in North Carolina.
Oh.
It was just like one of those. It was just a fiery argument that I never raised my voice to her or anything, and I just got mad and I slammed the door, and she was like, "Wow." I'm like, should have slammed the door.
Was that when you were in North Carolina that last week?
No, it was like
Previous to
this
that?
is like 2010, 2011.
Oh.
It was like early. In her old house.
Before kids?
Yes.
Were you dating or were you married at that point?
Dating.
Oh.
Yeah, it was just like I don't remember what it was about. I think some girl maybe texted me from my past or something, and I was just like, this. And she was like, don't have that happen again. And I'm just like, I can't have friends. They're females. I don't even talk to this little bit anymore.
Right.
And it was just like, it Nope.
Was she fiery? Did she have that Italian blood that her mom has?
Good Lord, yes.
Was she always like that, or was she? Did she snap at things?
It's, she wouldn't snap at me, but you could tell, like, something really irked her a little bit.
Yeah.
It would come out.
0 to 100 type thing, or what?
Yeah, 0 to 200.
Oh, interesting.
She gets acclimated about something. She's like, all right, it's gonna happen.
Well, that's why she was probably so successful at Thrive, right?
Oh yeah, like she'd done
Yeah.
a couple other like direct sales business, but this one was just like it was different.
Why?
This one, like, cause I think she had done like Origami Owl and like something called like It Works, and then like just other couple other things like some bags and stuff like that. But the supplement stuff, it just because it worked with her, it worked with me. She's like, okay, I can kind of like use this as like, all right, this is what it's doing for us.
Yeah.
And then like after a little while, like she could see how like people are above her, how it was helping them, and then it was just like trickle down effect. And it was like a good system about like commission wise and everything was just she could use all the business IQ she has from running those cell phone shops and from the Dirty South custom shops and all that. I mean, she business minded. Yeah, she knows how to do an accounting book like the back of her hand. So it all just like fell into place with all that.
So then on that night, was it just a new type of fight?
It was
Never had, or what? What happened?
Yeah, it was a totally different type of fight. It was just felt like I don't know, it was more anger than anything else. Like there was emotion to it at first, and then it just felt like it was just anger. It was just like like there was no love there. It was kind of like what we were saying, what she was saying. It was just like it's almost like we knew like something was combating at each other. We didn't know like it wasn't ourselves.
Really? Anger from you or anger from her?
I think it was more anger from me and more like desperation from her because she wanted to fix it.
Yeah.
She knew if something wasn't right. Like, like when the whole thing with my parents happened with my parents called it Nutgate.
What happened?
Nutgate.
What's that?
Oh,
With the peanut.
Oh,
she's
yeah.
old or whatnot.
Oh, with her family?
Yeah.
Yeah.
pistachio ice cream or whatever it was.
Yeah, somebody
Nutgate.
call it Nutgate.
I haven't
I heard that either.
Yeah, I guess what people are calling it.
Okay.
But that was like another out. Like maybe I could have just like stopped everything with Nikki and just kind of concentrated on helping like whatever happened there. Because
Yeah.
Shannon had a story, my mom had a story. Like whatever happened, I probably asked my 10-year-old nephew. Probably tell me what actually happened.
Well, and they both have their feelings for good reasons, and they both didn't see it the other person's way. And
Yeah, and like maybe I didn't talk to my parents from then on until like August 6th. And like, my dad took that whole week off.
you didn't talk to your parents from then on?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because like Shannon was like, do not talk to them, do not call them, do not do anything.
Is that what she said?
Yeah. And Cece's birthday was 17th, but I think the actual birthday party was like a couple days after.
In August?
July.
Yeah.
And like my mom or my dad was going to go, but then there was like a post on Facebook about allergies and stuff like that Shannon made, and my dad was like, no, I just can't do it anymore. Just like this.
He perceived that as her taking a shot type thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. She always says she never, put those posts directed at anybody, but she had a method.
If you read them, you know who she's talking about.
She had a method to the madness, and you can see it.
Mm-hmm.
But I wish I could have just took more time just to fix that. Because I wanted my parents to be involved. Like since like the whole wedding thing, and then up to that, it was like my mom, my sister were always like combating with Shannon combating with them. My dad was always cool. Like he's just like me. He's just like go with the flow. Like I just want everybody to get along type deal.
Chicks,
I
man.
loved your dad.
Oh, he's the best.
Isn't he? I
So-
loved your dad.
I'm sorry, keep going.
That's cool. I just wish I could have like just when we were at the beach in August. Like my dad was supposed to take the whole week off just so we could see the kids and like see me and like we have a cookout at my sister's house or something. And then, but we just pretty much spent 5 days at the beach, and Shannon like booked it. So like, I mean, it's I don't want to say like punishment for them not to see the kids, but like I wanted them to see it, see them. You know, just I wish I could have fixed all that. And I even like when I was at the beach, I told Shannon that it was more like what was going on was more like I feel like, you know, 'cause my dad's my hero. I feel like I've lost like something in my life. I haven't been talked to him for 3 weeks. I haven't been see the kids for 2 weeks, you know, FaceTime or anything. And I wanted them to be able to have that relationship again. And she was pretty much gung ho. Like she tried to kill my daughter by giving her pink. I was like, I don't think she gave it to him.
I know. Was that her stance? Is that your mom
put something in front of Cece?
Like to kill her, or
No,
just
just like
didn't care,
like
didn't pay attention?
she thinks that allergies and like this state of age is like people think, oh, you'll be
like it's
fine.
made up
Like
kind of thing?
he'll be fine. He'll just have a rash. He'll be fine. I've seen CC, you know, like the first time. Well, I've seen a picture when he had a cashew the first time. It wasn't good. And then she had kiwi the second time, and then the same thing happened. And I know it's real.
Do you know it's serious? Yeah.
Yeah, it's not like it wasn't like her throat like closed up, but she broke out in this full body rash that looked really crazy looking. And luckily, like, you know, nothing with her throat like happened. But
So did that make you angry at your mom for doing that?
yeah, I mean, I just like, Mom, you just gotta. I told her you need to think. You need to like, you know, pay attention. Just because another kid can have something doesn't mean another kid can have something. Because like when we were at that birthday party at Jeremy's that Sunday, you know, they had this cake there. Like Bella wanted it so bad. I'm like, can't give it to her because Cece can't have it. She was like, you know, okay. And all the other kids were like, they can't have the cake. You know, like I just kind of took them off and gave them some like one of those frozen pops or something. But you know, it's just like she had to learn that just because one kid can have something and there's another kid that can't have it for a legitimate reason, like she couldn't have done it. But you know, that's the kind of talk I had with her when Shannon called me. I think it was maybe like middle of July or something when she told me all this had happened. That's when I called my mom and talked to them for a while, and then they're just like, you know, they just couldn't deal with her anymore. Shannon just kind of like, you know, they like flipped out. My nephew told Bella to go hide behind the curtain because I don't think your mom was going to let you come over here again or something like that.
Aww.
So it got heated.
Oh, it was bad.
Really?
Yeah, it was like a last straw between them, I think.
Like in the same room or over the phone?
No, they were at the house.
They were
at my
really
mom's
heated.
house, yeah. Because Cece and Bella and my niece and nephew were there.
Okay.
How did Shanann find out about the ice cream thing?
Because Chanel was there, and I guess they were all sitting one of those couches, kind of like a U, and my niece went into the kitchen, and she knew where the ice cream was. She'd been there.
So it's not like your mom gave it to her? Like she got her own ice cream?
Yeah, she went in the freezer, got it, went out, and sat beside Cece, and started eating. But like it's just a matter of like Cece could go like like that. Now, I don't know what would happen if she just got it on her hand.
Right.
But like I know on like the prick test, you know, on the back, it's like a well.
So were they staying there at your parents' house during that time?
Yeah, it was. So they would go from from Sandy and Frank's house for like a few days or 5 days, and then go to my mom and dad's house for a couple of days, back and forth.
Okay. So it happened during that time? They were there, yeah. Okay.
So there were so many things that happened, weren't there? They just were little tiny ingredients to this recipe.
Nothing like.
It's nuts, Chris. I mean, it's just so many things just didn't go your way.
Everything was like somebody was stirring a pot, and it was just.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was like. So then, I know I keep bringing it up. Can you walk me through just the last few minutes before Shanann died?
It was pretty much just. I had gotten dressed for work, and then like we started talking.
Did she come to you?
No, I was just right there in bed.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I was just like, I got my blue shirt on, my jeans and everything.
You ready to go?
I was ready to go. And
Was she asleep, or did you have to wake her up to finish your conversation? Or?
I would wake her up because like she got home like 2 o'clock, so she pretty much out of it. But I never knew like if her plane got delayed. Someone always told me like she just like sat around with Nicole and just like talked for a while and came home or something. I'm not sure if that was true.
It was delayed. Yeah.
But yeah, when she came home and everything, but yeah, like I woke her up to talk to her.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And is that because it was just eating at your brain?
Yeah, like I knew like, something like something just didn't feel right with me. So I know like she knew. I just knew she knew. I just felt like maybe the kids weren't going to be there when I got home that day.
Oh, interesting. Now, I don't mean to offend, but I have to ask: is that really the truth? Okay.
I really felt like they weren't going to be there when I got home that day.
Oh. And
Like
so,
she would take them somewhere?
No, I just felt like either maybe I wouldn't go home, maybe they weren't going to be there, or I wouldn't be allowed in, type of thing.
I think I saw some text messages where Shania talked about that she would take the kids to another state or something because she wouldn't be able to afford to live in Colorado or something like that. Did she say that kind of stuff to you, or
Yeah.
what did she say about that?
She said she couldn't afford to live in Colorado on her own, and that I told her like, well, you drive, and she pretty much makes the same amount I do.
Yeah.
But she said she wouldn't want to try, just because Colorado just price of living there was a lot higher than North Carolina.
And just so I'm clear, you thought maybe in your mind, you thought maybe she would take the kids somewhere else or like lock you out of the house or
Or just like I wouldn't want to make a scene like trying like pound on the door trying to get in or anything like that. But like, I just felt like that was what I did on Sunday. It was kind of like or Saturday night was kind of like the last straw. Kind of like going out with somebody and using an actual bank account card and just like not trying to hide it at all.
So walk me through it though, because she comes home, she touches you, you guys have sex, you fall asleep, then you wake up for work, all natural, all a normal day's work type thing.
Yeah.
What was it that made you think, I just can't do this anymore, I have to talk to her?
It was eating away at me. Like I knew like something. I knew everything that I did. Like I know like when I was with Nikki, it was different. Like I wasn't even like in the realm of I'm a dad, I'm a husband type thing.
Oh.
And then like I was saying, when I'm never at home, like sleeping in my own bed, like I have no like concept of that anymore.
Interesting.
It
So
was
in your mind and heart, you can moved on.
like it kind of felt like if I wasn't at home, like I didn't think about it almost, because like if I wasn't sleeping on my own, like I think there was at one point like Nikki had gone to the mountains with her friends for like a few days, like into June, first part of July, and then like that part obviously I was home, but like from that whole month of July on, it was like I was never at home. Like I never had all those reminders around me. I never had, like every time my wife would call me, I would be at Nikki's house.
Oh. While she was in North Carolina?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I would like, walk outside and talk to her, like when I was next to the car or something like that. I would never be at home looking like have all these pictures around me, just being in the same bed, seeing my kids' beds, seeing everything that that we built for the last 6 years.
And so, did you just want to once and for all get it out in the open?
I just wanted to just tell her how I was feeling at that point in time. Like I didn't feel like me and her were compatible anymore. Honestly, it didn't feel like that because what was going on with Nikki, it was new. It was new.
Right, absolutely.
Anything that's new always feels better than the old.
Yes. And it
you were
makes think
probably
differently.
bitten by the love bug.
Yeah,
That's how a lot of therapists talk
unfortunately,
about it. Yeah.
But it was just like I never felt that. I mean, even like with new relationships in the past, like it always feels different. Like the first couple weeks, and then but it just with someone Nikki felt different. I don't know what it was. Maybe it was just like you said, like I was more in control, and like it was more of like maybe more of me coming out. Krishnan always said like it always seemed I was more myself around other people, like her cousin Cody, like Cody lived or came up visited us for a little bit while we were in Colorado for a little while, and Cody always talked about like how Chris is so funny, Chris is like Shannon would always just like, why are you never like that with me? I'm just like maybe I always felt nervous around you.
There's only so much oxygen in the room, right? I say this to some people with dominant personalities.
I just always felt nervous. I always felt like I was, I never could actually just, be myself. Oh,